Traffic stationer 38 Mike. Departing runway 35, staying in the pattern for 35, Stanley.
The Idaho Transportation Department's Division of Aeronautics manages more than 30 of Idaho's most beautiful backcountry airstrips. Many of these destinations are located in remote backcountry locations, making them difficult to access. Pilots planning on flying to these locations should plan ahead and have experience in mountain flying. We recommend you take your first trip with an experienced pilot or instructor. Stanley is one of Idaho's premier backcountry airstrip destinations. Located next to the famous town of Stanley, Idaho, in the Sawtooth National Recreation Area, the airport offers unparalleled access to some of the best recreation in the United States. Arrivals to Stanley are typically from the north and the south. Arrivals from the south follow Highway 75 northwest from the Sun Valley Ketchum area through Galena Pass, over Smiley Creek Airport, continuing up the valley past Redfish Lake and into the pattern of Stanley. Arrivals from the north generally follow Highway 21 from Boise past Warm Springs Airstrip to Cape Horn, where the road bends back to the southeast. Flights then continue down the valley, past Elk Meadows and Stanley Lake, and into the pattern at Stanley. Make your initial arrival calls and position reports on 122.9 at least 5 miles out from the airport. Be aware that Stanley is host to numerous commercial aircraft flying rafters, hunters, and fishers into the middle and south fork of the Salmon River. Consistent position reports, traffic scans, and use of landing lights are key for safe operations when flying into Stanley. Landings can be done from both the north and south, and the general flow is to land 3-5 and depart 1-7. Prior to landing, circle the airfield so you know what's moving on the ground. Check for people, cones, planes, and other obstacles. Remember, Stanley is a high-traffic airport with numerous air taxi and helicopter operations occurring throughout the summer months. When inbound from the northwest, enter left traffic on a standard 4-5 to left downwind. Arrivals from the south typically enter left upwind for 3-5 and continue around the airstrip for landing.
Stanley traffic stationer 38 Mike, left base, landing 35, Stanley.
Caution: only the northern third of Stanley Airstrip is paved. When landing 3-5, plan to touch down on the dirt or turf portion and taxi up to the pavement. Numerous mishaps have occurred when pilots attempted to land only on the paved portion of the runway. Density altitude is also a factor here. If you're on final and you are too fast or too high, it's time to make the decision to go around. Climb down the runway to the north until you have sufficient altitude to avoid terrain and rejoin the pattern.
Stanley traffic stationer 38 Mike, left downwind for 17, landing to the south, Stanley.
When landing runway 17, conduct a standard left-hand pattern. Caution: due to the steep bluff, when winds are from the south, expect downdrafts on final, indicated here. If you are too fast or too high, perform a go-around, climbing down the runway and back into the pattern. Pilots should declare their intentions prior to taxi on 122.9. Landing traffic always has the right of way. The parking area can be dusty. When taxiing out, try to minimize power to avoid creating lots of dust. If departing to the south on 17, a paved run-up area is available. Takeoff is straightforward, with many aircraft airborne before the end of the paved surface. If taxiing for takeoff on 35 to the north, announce your intentions. Most days, the grass parking areas on the sides of the runway give you room to pull to the side for landing traffic. As with a go-around from 35, the departure from 35 may require climbing to the north-northeast to gain sufficient altitude to clear terrain. Make standard outbound position calls. Formation departures are strongly discouraged. During the fire season, Stanley often hosts firefighting crews and helicopters. It may even have a temporary tower. Helicopter operations are staged on the southwest portion of the airstrip, south of the windsocks. NOTAMs and/or TFRs will provide details of firefighting operations and tower procedures if they are needed. We hope you enjoy your visit to Stanley. Flying in the mountains of Idaho is a serious, challenging endeavor, and a number of recent accidents attest to that fact. Safe backcountry flying requires rock-solid skills in slow flight, airspeed control, intimate knowledge of your aircraft performance, and well-prescribed personal limitations. Most of all, safe backcountry flying requires the proper attitude, one that is safe, conservative, and professional. A safe flight is a stress-free and enjoyable flight.